guys, let's get started in creating this gorgeous bear card. So we are on the Maker's Gonna Learn, and I am already on the cut files. We are going to type bear. We're going to click search, and we have our bears. So we're going to download that bear, and this is going to come in an SVG and then a PNG. So we're going to move over to our Cricut. You're going to open your file and get it ready to be uploaded. We're going to click upload. And we're going to click upload again. We're going to browse the file from our desktop or wherever it is that you saved it. So as I was saying, you have a PNG and you have the cut file. The cut file is not going to show as anything. You won't be able to see it, especially if you have a PC. It's going to show as an Internet Explorer. And if you're using Mac, I'm thinking it's going to show up as a Firefox or something else. Anyways, we're going to click this. We're going to upload it. And this is going to be a really fun way to use your inks to color this bear. So I have my bear over here, and he is really big. So when your file is so big that you can't see it, you can go ahead and resize. So I'm going to go ahead and make this 5 inches and have it resize it. So now we can come back up, and there we have him. So we're going to make him a little smaller. The reason why is that we are going to create our card panel. So we're going to bring in a shape. There we go. We're going to create the square, and then we are going to unlock it so it allows us to change the size. So once it's unlocked, we're going to go to the size, and we're going to make this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is going to make it an A4 size, which is going to be perfect. And you can get these envelopes at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever it is that you prefer to get your envelopes. It just makes it really nice. So once we have it done, we're going to click lock, and that way it doesn't go anywhere. But now our bear is too big for this. So we're going to get him to be just a little bit smaller. And this serves to really be able to see where you're going to put him. And we're going to bring him to forward so we could really see. I'm going to change the coloring of this for the purposes of this video. Now we're going to create a window. We're going to do that with a shape again. So we are going to use a circle. And then we are going to place it right in the center. And we're going to have the bear popping out. So we want to make that just a little bit bigger. If you want to move it down further, that's okay too. We're going to move him forward. And I really like using Design Space to see how it's going to fit once I cut it. So I think that's pretty cute. It's kind of cut off part of that heart, but that's okay. So we're going to move this off to the side. And then we're going to select these 2 shapes, and we're going to slice. And that way it's going to slice the circle. And when you cut it on your machine, you have that circle. And now the little bear can totally fit in there. So we're going to go ahead and click these items over to make it, and we're going to cut these out of white cardstock. All right, guys, so this just came out of the Cricut, and look how fun. Look at these different pieces. They're all cut in white, and so we are ready to go. So we have all these little pieces to go. We are going to start by coloring. We're going to set aside the card panel, the bear. Look how cute he is. I think that he is going to be really cute. And let me show you what colors we're going to be using to color. We're going to be using antique linen. That's going to be your overall color. And then we're going to be using these other colors for shading and coloring. I know you're probably going, we're going to color with inks. Yes, we are. We're going to grab that antique linen. We're going to grab our blender brush. And we're going to add the color to the entire bear. This is going to be foundation for him. This is going to be base 1 for the bear. So we're going to start with this, adding a nice tone to him. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next darkest color, which in this case is brush corduroy. And let me tell you about this. When you're coloring with inks, I don't think you see it a lot. You're really gonna create the shadow. So I have my next brush, and these are makeup brushes that you can purchase at your favorite retailer or on Amazon. And so what we're gonna do, see how I have that shade? We're gonna shade the interior shapes with this brush corduroy. It's just a little bit darker. All right. See how fun he is turning out? We're gonna move on to the next color, which is gonna be Vintage Photo, and this one's much, much darker. Using the same brush that we used for brush corduroy, we're actually gonna grab it and we're gonna brush the edges, brushing in. You do want to protect your surface if you don't have a wipeable surface when you're coloring with inks. If you don't have the makeup brushes, you can use some extra toothbrushes. Just be sure to do a very light hand when brushing so you don't get the toothbrush stroke from the head of the toothbrush. All right. See how awesome it's starting to create that shadowing? And to top it off, we're gonna come up with walnut stain. This is a really dark brown. And I actually have a little baby brush. Look how fun. I think this is for like eyeshadow. So all we're gonna do is come in and brush more of this on the edge and really sticking to the edge. We don't want to blend that in, and the reason why is that we don't want to lose that shadowing effect that we had earlier. Okay. All right. So there you have it. There is the bear. We're going to clean off our brushes and then we're going to start doing his nose. All right, guys, now that my surface is clean, you could really see the bear. Look at all that different shading. You could not really achieve this with coloring, or it'd be really difficult, but it didn't take us too much time to do that. All right, now we have the nose, and we're gonna be using worn lipstick, and we're only gonna do one color. And the reason why is that we're gonna create a gradient with this. So we're gonna grab that little baby brush, and if you don't have the little baby brush, that's okay. You can use one of the larger ones. And all we're doing is really adding that color at the corner, and then we're gonna color out and bring that same color that we have and using that to really cover the entire nose. Then you're gonna have a gradient for the nose with only using one color. All right, let's put our card together. All right, so I brought back my card panel, and this is, we're gonna be using the same worn lipstick, and we're gonna only blend from the circle out. So very similar to what we were doing with the bear, but it's gonna be in the shape of this circle. This is gonna allow you to really use those colors, blend them out, and just really match the whole thing. I like to keep my cards clean and simple, and honestly, coloring the bear like that would just make it easy for like birthday cards or really soft baby shower cards. All right, so we have that blended out, and we're gonna start putting our card together. But before that, I don't know if you've seen these guys. So this is the Cricut Pink Crystal. These are the Ultimate Fine Point set. So this is just a marker set. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to handwrite Miss You. Very simple. Very clean. If you have a stamp, if you don't like your handwriting, you could totally just go ahead and stamp it if you please. All right, so I have my card base ready. It's pre-scored. Then I'm gonna bring in my foam adhesive, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna bring the foam adhesive, we're gonna cut strips, put them on the back. And what this is gonna do is gonna allow us to raise that window panel, which in turn is gonna allow the little bear to really be able to peek out from that. So the little bear is gonna be stuck to the actual card base, and that's why we have this card panel that's gonna be raised. Okay, so I have my foam pieces cut. I'm gonna remove the backing. Okay, one more. And do this. So one more. If you have the MGL yearly subscription, you can totally just, print it if you wanted and then cut. So here I have it. So I'm going to use this as my marking point. So let's see, I kind of want him to be centered. So I'm going to add just a couple of drops of glue. We're going to add him. Let's see, is that going to work? Yep, we're going to slide him just a tad down. All right, then we're going to place our card, and I know he's missing his nose, and that's okay. Once that's down, we're going to add just a little bit of glue. Bring the nose. And there you have it. Now you're free to embellish. I'm going to add a couple little crystals to this, but honestly, that does a super easy way. Look how fun, how pretty that little bear is that we used from the cut file. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.